Hello chess friends and welcome to Jozarov Chess channel and welcome back to the Airthings Masters in 2022. So we're now in the day 3 of the super event and many great things meanwhile happened. We had yesterday really big of a surprise where Ramesh Babu Pragnananda won the game with the black pieces against Magnus Carlsen. It was, I think, a huge and incredible moment. I think also today in the later stage of the evening I'm going to cover that game. I think it's very important to praise Ramesh Babu Pragnananda's game because he really needs our support, because in my opinion he is sort of a world championship material. Also Alireza Firouzja and maybe Andrei Sipenko, in my opinion, are the most talented players now these days. So let's check out now one game from the day 3. It's Magnus Carlsen against young Krzysztof Duda. This game is, in my opinion, really important because young Krzysztof Duda is sort of a guy that I think has sort of a history with Magnus Carlsen. He of course broke Magnus Carlsen's record. He stopped basically Magnus Carlsen's record because Magnus Carlsen was unbeatable for 125 games in classical time format chess, and also in many events young Krzysztof Duda kicked out Magnus Carlsen. So I think when it comes to young Krzysztof Duda, Magnus Carlsen takes a little bit personal, like Michael Jordan used to take it personal against many top players from the NBA. So it's sort of a game I think that I really wanted to see because Magnus Carlsen plays here warm cold. When he's playing a winning game, he's playing really brilliant chess. When he's playing losing game, he's playing really wild chess. He's missing opportunities. He's losing pieces all over the board. So as I said, he's playing warm cold. But in my opinion, Magnus Carlsen will make it to the quarterfinals for sure. Let's check out now this beauty because it has really beautiful elements of the fianchetto attack. I think you want to play basically like Magnus Carlsen because many times you face the fianchetto and you of course want to play similar ideas like Magnus Carlsen did here. So let's check out now the game. Magnus opened with the move e4. Young Krzysztof Duda was responsible c5, and after move knight to c3 we have sort of a preparation to go into this Rosolim and Neshmedinov ideas. Here you could also try this idea bishop to b5, then also double up the pawn structure. So as I said, this knight to c3 is sometimes a delaying move, and here young Krzysztof Duda goes into the hyper accelerated Dragon Sicilian, and I myself play the hyper accelerated Dragon Sicilian all the time. So I have the whole series, more than 30 videos in the hyper accelerated Dragon Sicilian, so you can really study this opening. And here after move g6 we can say many times this particular continuation is going to happen. d4, c takes d4, and queen to d4 is one of the best ways here to proceed. Knight to f6, pretty standard stuff, and here bishop to e3. Although here e5 is also an opportunity, then knight to c6, the game becomes really complicated for both sides. And I've covered also these lines in this series, this hyper accelerated Dragon Sicilian. So as I said, here's the link of the whole series. You can check it out and maybe have a good preparation against e4. So here after move knight to f6, as we said, here young Magnus Carlsen played bishop to e3, knight to c6, we have queen to d2. Magnus is playing this fianchetto attack. He's creating this queen and bishop battery. He wants to trade off the bishops and then go h4, h5, open the h file and deliver also some checkmates with the support, and the queen and the rook are building also very powerful attacks. So as I said, this is now the main goal, trading off the darker bishop. This is how you attack the fianchetto. Here Magnus Carlsen applies all of the important systems. Here we have d6, we have f3, normal stuff, g4, h4, h5. The game transposes more into this Yugoslav attack ideas. It's not a Yugoslav attack anymore, but if you're familiar with the Yugoslav attack against the Dragon Sicilian, then I think you know the stuff, you know the ideas, what's going on, because now with g4, h4, h5, bishop to h6, white is creating this really beautiful and dynamic attack. So bishop to g7, knight to e2, bishop to e6, and now knight to f4. Very important move by Magnus Carlsen, getting this maneuver of the knight. The bishop is a little bit loose on the board, and if knight to e6 happens, then after f takes e6, black would have really great positional problems. The bishop, the double pawn structure on e file would cause, I think, many positional problems. Here young Krzysztof Duda makes now a huge and I think it's a huge moment because he decided to castle immediately. But let's see now this here, knight takes e6, after f takes e6, queenside castling, and after bishop to c4. Maybe Magnus Carlsen wasn't satisfied with this potential d5 move. If d5 happens, then you see e takes d5, e takes d5, knight to d5, and similar stuff. But then the bishop, the dark square bishop, gets also liberated on this diagonal. So probably Magnus Carlsen didn't want to complicate things too much. He knows I can take out the bishop whenever I want. Still, I wanted to first make progress, and he makes now this immediate flank attack with the move h4. We have now knight to e5. We have h5 immediately because the knight and the rook are supporting this idea. So as we said, we're simply continuing the pressure. And the cool part about this game, about this flank attack, is that you can actually go into the flank attack without castling. Why is it possible? Whenever you feel that you should maybe go into a flank attack, always ask yourself one particular question. This is now the most important question of flank attacks. Is the center fixed? Is the center closed? What I mean about that, can your opponent make a breakthrough in the center? And I think that black cannot, because here all of these pieces are targeting the d5 square. So in order to make some kind of a progress, black would have to play some kind of a counter attack with the move d5, but it's not possible because Magnus has a beautiful control of that square. So whenever you feel that you could maybe launch an early flank attack even without castling, only ask yourself the question, as I said, is the center closed? And I think in this position we have a perfect case of the closed center. Although the center can explode in one particular moment, but at least white has a central grip. White has a beautiful control of the center. So here after move h4, we have bishop to c4. Magnus continues simply h takes g6, perfectly fine. H takes g6, and here knight to d3. This idea is clear. We want now to liberate here this long diagonal. We want to trade off the bishops, as we said, like in the Yugoslav attack against the Dragon Sicilian. Here Magnus is preparing this normal stuff. Bishop to e6, bishop to h6. We have knight to h5, and now comes one of the most important tactical shots that you have to recognize against fianchetto attacks, and it's this rook to h5 idea. I've talked about this fianchetto ideas, attacking the fianchetto, also in one of my basics in chess series videos. Please check out my basics in chess series. I've created there more than 160 videos about tactics and strategies in chess. So now it's the sort of an example that I've explained before. Now we have this fianchetto attack with this idea to fix the position with the move knight to h5, and many times you'll see this beautiful tactical shot. Bishop to g7, and now rook to h5. G takes h5, but now after knight to e5, queen d takes e5, you see the queen comes more and more into the game. And here after move bishop to d3, in this position young Krzysztof Duda resigned because queenside castling is going to happen, and then rook to h1, and the game is over. So really beautiful attack by Magnus Carlsen in the dragon, in the accelerated dragon. Really beautiful attacking stuff, and this is how you basically attack the fianchetto. You want to trade off the bishops, you want to include all of the pieces into the game, even sometimes rook sacrifices are possible. So really beautiful tactical game by the world champion. So okay, I hope that you enjoyed the game. I really enjoyed it a lot. Interesting stuff again by Magnus Carlsen. As I said, he's playing warm cold. Really beautiful tactical ideas. If you want to see more games from this tournament, check out my coverage so far with some great games that we have analyzed before. And if you like this content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you soon with some more videos, and chess is the best, of course.